Hello everyone, this is Professor Step and welcome to Federal Government. So I usually make a little welcome video to give you some basic information and show you how to get started with the class. Of course, this is an online class. It's an online asynchronous class, meaning that essentially you do the work on your own schedule as long as you meet the deadlines for the course. Okay, so I'm going to assume for the purposes of this video that you have very little experience with 1, college courses, and 2, Blackboard. So I'm going to go ahead and get you started here. First thing, in order to access the course, you can just type in your browser epcc.edu. Then you want to go over to the menu, click on My EPCC. And so for me, it automatically logs me in because it's set up that way. But if you are on either a stranger's computer or you haven't logged into My EPCC before, it will ask you for your username and password. That should have been provided to you by now. If not, there's a little link as well as a phone number that'll pop up if you don't know your username or your password. Okay. So, just a couple of things before we get to the course. This area here is where you have a lot of tools that you can use for the college. So, you have access to your email address. That's an Outlook email address. I would advise that you check that frequently. Not necessarily for my class, but just in general. And actually, no, I don't want to open it. Let's go back. So your Outlook email address is right here. Your apps are right here. As a student at EPCC, you have access to all of the Microsoft programs for free. So I'm just going to click on it real quick, give you an idea. So you can actually download all of these apps onto your computer, or you can use them on My EPCC. Sorry. So let's go ahead and head back. So the section that I really want to cover is Blackboard. So you click on Blackboard, and it will probably ask you to log in again. But for me, of course, it's set to just open. So it'll open up the activity stream. I don't really use this section, so I tend to just go straight to courses. So these, of course, since our semester hasn't started yet, they haven't shown up. So I'm going to go to upcoming courses. But for you, by the time you are able to access Blackboard on Monday, you will actually have the ability to just have my current courses and look at it through there. So I teach a bunch of classes here. This video is for 10792 and 10793. There's just one little difference between these two courses that I'll cover in a moment, but these are for my 2 federal online classes. So let's go ahead to 10792. And so this is Blackboard. This is the course's homepage. You can access all of the assignments, the syllabus, and so on through here. You also have some tools, including access to your grade, course messages, which is going to be the main way we keep in contact, as well as a calendar and so on. So, as I promised, I'm not going to take up too much time. I'm going to focus on the basics here. And actually, let's enter student preview mode so it looks like it will for you. Mine's a little bit clunkier. I have a lot more, material, but for you it should be a lot more streamlined. And so this is how it'll look for you. So you have 2 folders and then the Purchase Course Materials button. You can use that to purchase the textbook. Over here we have the Start Here folder, where you will have access to the syllabus part 1, which is really the most important part of the syllabus. Syllabus part 2, which is the same for every Government 2305 or federal government class. Link to Teams, where we can have virtual office hours. You can also meet with me in person if you wish. Although, of course, that's not required. And then you have some tools here, some little tutorials that you can use, and a rubric for the discussion. So, let's start off with going through the syllabus. So it should open up here. It should load up in just a second there. And I want to make this a little bit clearer to you. Oops, maybe that's a little too much. So, starting off with, you have access to my office number and my cell phone number. For my cell phone number, please keep it during business hours, so think 9 to 5. Although, if you need to reach me outside of those times, you can, just it's not guaranteed. You have my email address. You're not going to really use that too much, but you have it just in case you need it. You instead should reach me through Blackboard course messages, which I'll show you in just a minute. Here you have my office hours. So these are both online and in person. I'll leave you to read that. Next, we have the textbook. It's very important that you get the correct edition of the textbook and that you buy it through the EPCC bookstore. Why? Well, because the price is going to be the best at the EPCC bookstore. You want to get that big discount that we negotiated. So, no used or prior editions allowed. You need to buy it through the bookstore, and it must have Connect Access. So that they're not going to sell you at the bookstore a textbook without Connect Access. In fact, when you go to the bookstore, or you can order online as well, all they're going to really send you is a card with an access code, which is fine. That's what you should be getting. So you'll be able to read the book online, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, so next we have how you're going to be evaluated. So if you're my 10793 class, you don't have this section right here, but the midterm, final, homework, and chapter discussions are the same for both classes. The only real difference is that if you are in my 10792 class, there are a few lecture video quizzes that you will be taking. It's not for a large part of your grade, but these are important. They basically help to make sure that you are understanding the lectures. Okay, so I'm not going to read through the entire syllabus. You should read through the entire syllabus. Obviously, you don't really need to let me know if you have COVID-19, since this is an online class. You will have between 1 and 2 chapters to read every week. Time management, the time for my courses, the time that you will spend on my courses is no real difference, not really different from any college course. A lot of the learning is going to take place outside the classroom. Of course, since this is an online class, basically all the learning is going to take place outside the classroom. There is homework, and I will show you how to access it in just a minute. Okay, I do offer extra credit, but just to be aware, don't rely on the extra credit. The extra credit could, let's say, get you from a B to an A or a D to a C, but it's not going to take you from an F to an A or an F to a C. So keep that in mind. Okay, so if you have a disability, make sure that you follow these instructions here, and what are they called? Center for Students with Disabilities will provide you with information and help, and let me know how to help you. Just a quick note, because this was a problem last year. Do not use AI or chatbots to complete your assignments. You'd be surprised, but there are tools out there to figure that out. So just stay away from it. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind is that when it comes to makeup work, I try and give you a lot of time to do your assignments. So if you need to request an extension, then you need to provide some sort of verification that basically for 11 days you were out of contact, or you didn't have the ability to complete the work for 11 days. And I'll explain that. In fact, I'll explain that right now. So every week you will be assigned one chapter, or a couple of weeks 2 chapters. You will have that the next chapter will open up on Friday in the afternoon. So you will have Friday afternoon, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon. Sorry, why am I saying afternoon? You'll have Saturday, Sunday, all day. So we're at 3 days now. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday at midnight. So you are given 11 days at least to complete your homework. So make sure that you do that, right? So I'm pretty generous when it comes to making assignments available and giving you plenty of time to complete them. But of course that takes a certain level of personal responsibility to make sure that you do use that time that you're given. Do read the syllabus completely. Not knowing something from the syllabus is not an excuse. You should read it. And, you know, it seems like there's a lot of rules, but really, I've been told, and I think I'm a pretty nice guy, but at the same time, there are certain standards for college, right? So I just want to make everything as clear as possible by giving you this information in the syllabus. Let's say you have Blackboard technical difficulties. Well, first of all, if you are doing your homework correctly, you should not be waiting until the last minute. So you have 11 days. If you wait until the 11th day and then have a technical problem, that's not good, and that's not necessarily an excuse for an extension, okay? So if you do have a Blackboard technical issue, I do provide here the Blackboard help desk. You can also reach out to me. You know, I even give you my cell phone number. But, you know, let's say you're trying to complete your homework assignment at like 11 o'clock at night on a Monday, and it's due at midnight, and there's a problem. Obviously, don't call me then. You could try and reach out to the EPCC help desk, but be aware that, you know, waiting till the last minute comes with risks, right? Then we have a calendar here, and you can look through this. You'll eventually recognize that you have a certain number of assignments that you get for a standard week. There's a lot of homework in this class, but this is something that I tend to find students actually prefer. You know, when I first started teaching, I didn't have a lot of homework. Basically, just reading and 2 big tests. And students did not like that. They asked me, why can't you spread out the grade to a bunch of homework assignments rather than just having these 2 big tests that are very stressful? So that's what we're doing. There are still 2 tests, but they are worth a lot less than they were in the past. I also have an academic calendar here for you where you can see, you know, let's say on September 4th, we're not having classes, or when you can withdraw, and so on. So that's all provided inside the syllabus. Okay, so let's see here. We're at 14 minutes. I don't want to go past 20 minutes. So let's get into a couple of tools that you have here. So tool number 1, you have the calendar. Now you can organize the calendar by due dates. and nothing's due today, so you don't have to worry about it. But oh, I know what the problem is. So it'll show the due dates. It's just because I have the assignments folder closed. But you can see the due dates in calendar, or you can view them on the syllabus, however you want to do it. I will let you know if those due dates change. If they do change, they will always be kind of in your favor. It'll be an extension rather than making it due sooner. I've never done that. So keep that in mind. To access your assignments, you click on the assignments folder, and it's organized by chapters. So if you look in chapter 1 here, you have the UJA video quiz. You have the Smart Book. You have a podcast assignment. And you have Introduce Yourself. So, what is all this? UJA quiz is just basically watching the lecture video. So you click on it, there's going to be about 3, 4, maximum 5 questions, but basically you're just sitting there watching the lecture video. You can also watch the lecture video separately here by clicking on this YouTube link if you don't want to do the quiz yet, but I recommend just go ahead and watch the video in the UJA format so you can just complete the short quiz. We have the Smart Book. Basically what this does is it's how you're going to access your textbook. They will have some review questions in there. Make sure that you complete, the chapter reading. You don't want to. You need to read the book in this class, and you need the textbook. Just to be very clear here. There's some podcast assignments. It's not in every chapter, but basically it's a 30 to 40 minute podcast you listen to and answer a couple of questions. It's not really too difficult. This is going to be gone by the time you are actually accessing the course. This is also a little supplemental video. You don't need to watch it, but in case you want it. Let's see, and I think that pretty much covers it. Here's the PowerPoint. And if you look over here in Chapter 2, it's the same sort of setup. Now, you won't have a UJA video quiz every week. You won't. You'll have, I believe I have 5 of them spread out throughout the entire semester. So keep that in mind. The assignments will not always be the same, and then also you probably notice here that there is no discussion assignment in this chapter. So you're not going to have all of the assignments in every chapter. Keep that in mind, but make sure that you go through and treat this like a checklist. Complete everything in here. Okay. Next, let's look at Gradebook. So if you click on Gradebook, you will be able to see all of your grades. There's no mystery to it. Most of it, your grade will be essentially uploaded automatically. Discussions can take a week or two, no more than 2 weeks, but usually about a week. Okay, and that's because I have 7 classes with about 200 students. I think over 200 students. So grading all these discussions can take a little bit, and just depending on whether your class is at the top of my list or towards the bottom, that can have an effect on how long it'll take. Then we have course messages. This is the internal email system for Blackboard. You will only receive messages for this course in here. There's no spam. Make sure that you check this. I would check this every day. Especially check this before coming to class. Maybe I have a flat tire. I don't want to say that because now I feel like I'm jinxing myself, but or I get sick, right? You don't want to show up to class if you don't need to. So make sure you check out Blackboard course messages. Okay, so a quick note about your Connect, McGraw-Hill Connect. So what I'm showing you here is basically part of the class. And I'm going to go ahead and exit the student preview mode. what do I mean by that? Well, essentially when you have links to the, like for example, the SmartBook here, you when you click on this link, it's going to take you to Connect. And so the first time you click on one of these links, depending on if you have your book yet or not, you will, regardless, you'll need to create an account. Use your EPCC email address to create an account. If you don't have an access code yet, then it'll give you a 2-week free trial. That gives you 2 weeks to get access the textbook, to buy the textbook. So make sure you use that time wisely. And let's go ahead and just click Launch Assignment here, just to give you an idea of what it'll look like. And so for you, let me enter Preview. So it'll show how it looked to you. But you can see here when the chapter is due, how much time it's estimated it'll take, and so on. So you can, what I would recommend is that you start reading and then answer whatever review questions pop up while you're reading. The SmartBook is designed to be smart in that it is designed to make sure that, and to help you, to assist you in learning and retaining the material. So if you follow through with the SmartBook, you will be able to, you'll do excellent in this class. You'll be able to retain the material. Okay, let's see. Let me go back here for a second. With that being said, I think I have covered just about everything I wanted to cover. Don't use the Discussions tab. And remember, I'm going to be sending this out either Saturday or Sunday, so you won't be able to access this yet. This is not accessible until Monday, so don't worry about it if you can't access it yet. Okay, have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.